it's only appropriate to be eating a Big Apple in the Big Apple.
I'm very happy about it.
Yes. All right. Let's do this.
All right.
Cool.
You want me to go?
Go ahead. Start up.
Hi, guys. Cool.
Hey guys, this is Stephanie, host of Side B Radio on OWWR.
And I'm Eitan Vishnevsky, host of Uncharted Waves, also on OWWR. We're sitting right here with Darren Criss, singer, songwriter, and actor, and pretty much a jack of all trades.
He's been in a Harry Potter musical, Little White Lie, Eastwick on ABC, and he also has his own music that he's going to be performing tonight in Brooklyn.
That's right. We're actually going to be watching him perform over at Public Assembly in downtown Brooklyn. It's located on 70 North 6th Street.
What's
Brooklyn,
up, Darren? Yo, man. Life is good. I'm really happy to be in New York, one of my favorite places in the whole world to be and hang out. We got a lot of family and friends, a lot of roots here. I was always going to move to Brooklyn for the longest time. Then, life happened. Life moments just kind of reroute your decisions, and so I decided to go to LA, and I've been really happy out there. So it's good to be here. I feel great, man.
Can you tell us a little bit about yourself, like where you're from and what got you into music?
Yeah, so born and raised San Franciscan, so a Northern Californian kid. This is why I never thought I'd end up in LA, because go Giants, no offense to any Dodgers fans. Yeah, I've always been involved in music as long as I can tell. For some reason, unbeknownst to me to this day, I asked my mom if I could learn how to play the violin when I was like 5, and which is a testament to my mom being a saint. Wasn't like, oh, okay, well, we'll see about that. Like, without any hesitation, was like, yeah, okay. And so, I played violin for my whole life, and I was played violin seriously and took lessons and so forth for like 10, 15 something crazy years. And so, while I was doing that, was my like formal training in music. And then while that happened, I would pick up a guitar, and then I'd play a lot of piano. And towards high school, I started playing the drums a lot with my brother, who's also in a great New York band, Freelance Whales, doing very well right now. Go check him out at Lollapalooza in August. Where's it, July? Does anybody know?
Not sure.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Anyway, it's coming up.
Lollapalooza.com.
Exactly. Yeah, go check out Lollapalooza and go check out the Freelance Whales. Anyway, yeah, and I've always been just into music. I listened to a lot of oldies as a little kid. I was always really adamant about finding new music. This was before music was as accessible as it is now. I didn't realize how cool this was. I can brag about this now because I'm like, wow, what a cool little kid. But back then, I was like 8, 9, 10 years old. It was like this really kind of, to me, to my knowledge, I didn't know anybody else. It was like seeking out like Chad and Jeremy tapes and like Beatles EPs and stuff like that. So
When did you write singing and songwriting?
I don't know. I got a guitar for Christmas in 3rd grade because I would be just playing other people's guitars a lot, trying to figure it out. And I don't know. It's fun to sing. I've always been a annoying kid that sang, broke into song, which is I suppose why I ended up really involving myself in musical theater. But I don't know, it just seems natural. You have an instrument, you sing. Violin you can't really sing with. I mean, you can, and it's been done, and it's great. But I don't know, guitar is a little more of an accessible thing, and it's a big gatherer of people. So I've always liked that aspect, and I guess that just kind of turned into me playing songs on guitar and piano and stuff, because I like the community gathering of music. It's a very primal, basic desire that everybody has. It's fun to share,
You mentioned that you sought out different music when you were younger. Who are your influences?
Well, like I said, I'm a weird one because I was really into musical theater as a kid. So I'd have my Les Mis tapes in Phantom of the Opera, but at the same time I was this is like the '90s, so I was dead into Nirvana, Pearl Jam, a lot of alternative, Soundgarden. Green Day, Oasis, all the Atlantis, all those amazing '90s alternative bands that were huge then, were mixed in with musical theater. And then I was always into oldies, so Motown and Smokey Robinson, Al Green, Marvin Gaye, And then I've always loved the Beatles. There was a time in my life where the only things that mattered to me in the entire world was the Beatles and Star Wars. Everything that I owned had to do, and Disney movies, excuse me, lest we forget that is something very important for me. So I was this very bizarre melting pot. And of course, I'm from California, so like Tupac was like, sorry East Coasters, Tupac Biggie. I love Biggie to forever. But, no, I was, I listen to everything. I can't really say I have one solid through-line influence. I like music. I've never, ever excluded anything out of my palette. I just love good music. If it's good, it's good. End of story.
Well, anybody who follows you on YouTube sees that you have all these songs that you have from Disney. And you just mentioned, we cannot forget about Disney, but what was it that got you loving Disney so much?
I feel really connected to, and I think a lot of us do in our generation, and there's a term that I don't know if this is like a thing, like an editorial thing, but nerd-stalgia. We live in the age of the reboot, where a lot of mainstream entertainment relies on a lot of referential topics. The more references that sort of reach out to people, the better. People, love that kind of stuff. It's just very common in our humor today. And I think more and more people are really embracive of their childhood and the things that define their childhood. And it's something that really connects older people together, as if it's some novel thing. Oh my God, you like Disney movies too? It's not so novel. It's like, yeah, because we were children once, and that is, that doesn't change. So, yeah, I don't know. I've always just been really connected to them because they're good films. They're arguably the best films ever in the American canon. I mean, everybody can always be like, oh yeah, Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast, like an Oscar-nominated film. Just amazing music, really accessible, beautiful, and fun, and it's fun to play them because they're good songs, but there's a connotation, an implicit connotation of those songs that just bleeds innocence and just nostalgia, and it's the easiest way to relate to somebody. The best way to get to know somebody, you ask, hey, so where'd you grow up? Where did you start? So that's, for me, musically, that's what I like to do.
I gotta know what your favorite Disney movie is.
Well, that's like asking what your favorite movie, your favorite band is, because it's all contextual. So, because well, yeah, I mean, so if for those Disney fans out there is something coined as the Disney Renaissance, which would, early 90s to very early 2000s. And, so, there's the big guns, which are always, in order, Little Mermaid to, was it Aladdin to, no, excuse me, Little Mermaid to Beauty and the Beast, then Aladdin, Lion King, Hercules, Mulan, or was it Mulan? I don't know. Oh, that's true. No, thank you. I actually will say this. Aladdin is the closest to my heart because I don't know. You have, a male protagonist and, as a kid. Ooh, I've drooled. That's not on the radio. You should get that, though. Did you see that? A piece of apple just flew from my teeth because I said Aladdin.
I saw that on eBay.
Yeah. Well, that's how excited I mean, if that's any indication of how much I like Aladdin, apple freaked out from my mouth. Okay. That was exactly what I was getting to. Hunchback is one of the most underrated Disney films because it came out at a very bizarre time and was marketed in such a way that it didn't really go over. Most people, I'd say 9 times out of 10, would be like, yo, have you seen Hunchback? And I'm like, yeah. Actually, no. I saw it when I was really little. I highly suggest anybody who has not seen it or has that answer, watch it again. It is so dark and so adult and so cool. It's such a good movie. It's such one of my most underrated movies of all time. So I would say, yeah, in that respect, that's my little, private fancy. Hunchback is a phenomenal movie, but Aladdin, back to nostalgia would probably take the cake.
Let's talk a little bit about Team StarKid, that was also once known as StarKid Potter. When did you meet those guys?
Well, it's all from college. I mean, we're all students from the University of Michigan in Ann Arbor, and we're just in a very small department, which is the Department of Theater and Drama, which is within the School of Music, Theater, and Drama. No, excuse me, that's a misnomer. That. We were all in the same department at the University of Michigan in Ann Arbor, and that department was for theater and stuff. And so, like many theater departments in any university situation, theater is inherently a familial, very small, and very intimate. So everybody more or less lives together, works together, goes to class together. After your classes, you do a show together, and so they're just friends from my class. I mean, my class was like 16 people in a university of easily 25,000 people, and this is like my small little family. So it's a collection of different people in different classes. I'm a year behind some of the main people in StarKid Potter, which would be Brian Holt and the Lang brothers, who are sort of the writing team. Then it kind of extends into a bigger family of actors and other writers and collaborators and stuff that are younger or older.
So Little White Lie came first with you guys, right? And you won funding for it.
Yeah, and that had nothing to do with anything that has happened for us now. We made that years ago, easily 3 years ago now. I actually really had very little to do with it. So these guys, Eric Congeo is a friend of ours who's always been kind of involved in the inception of this company now. He was a student friend. We're just friends, just messing around. And he won some company. I'm not the best person to give the details on it, but he won some. Company. He won some contest for Soap U, I believe. But the short of it is that he was given a budget to create like a series of some kind, and so we shot it in Ann Arbor, and I was around, and so they needed songs for it, and I was like, yeah, I can write songs, and so I ended up being in it too, just because I was there to help out, and that was something that came and went, and that was it. We just shot it, and that was fun. A year and a half later, we did for fun this like Potter musical, and just like we do anything else, it's just something for fun. And so there were things from that first show, from Little White Lie, like literally a year and a half ago. They were like, oh yeah, we'll just use some songs from that and put it in this show, because nobody ever saw Little White Lie. And so after the complete unexpected accident of Harry Potter taking its own life on the internet, people were asking us for more, and we're like, we don't have it. Oh wait, why don't we just put out Little White Lie that never really got any life? So it got a second lease on life. But that was something that way before anything was ever dreamed of, before StarKid was ever a twinkle in anyone's eye.
There was a cliffhanger on that, though. I watched it. I know a lot of people asked, like, is there going to be more? That's just dead?
It's not just dead. It happened 3 years ago, and our lead actress was Canadian, and it was like everybody was just in town for the summer. I mean, of course, yeah, that'd be really fun, but I don't know if that's what the writers want to do, and it's by no malice that people are like, oh, we're not going to do it. It's just it was a long time ago. People have moved and they have lives, and it's very tough. It's very flattering that people enjoy the show. To us, by our estimation, we kind of joke about how, like, oh man, Little White Lie, like, it's embarrassing because there's things that we wish were better, and there's a lot of things that we don't feel represents us in the best light as production people, but I'm glad that people like it. I can't invalidate their support of it, so I appreciate it.
It's been just over a year since a Harry Potter musical has premiered on YouTube. How's your life changed since then?
I mean, all kinds of crazy, man. Like I said earlier, this was totally unexpected. This is the best way I can put this, but for this whole sort of phenomenon, everything that's happened for us, I and my friends have, by my estimation, fallen ass backwards into, and kind of landed in this big pile of blessings, and you get up and you're like rubbing your eyes, being like, what just happened? So, for me, a lot of things hit at once. I booked my first professional series on this television series called Eastwick on ABC. That happened before we put it. No, it happened around the same time that our show was sort of gaining a lot of momentum on the internet. So they weren't necessarily people like, oh my God, did Eastwick happen because of the Potter thing? I'm like, no, in fact, I don't think anybody on set knew anything about it. Later did, because they would make fun of me about it, but it was never directly linked. It's definitely helped a lot of my friends. It's been really nice. I was already with this great agency out in LA for about a year, and one of the agents there is a big Potter fan, and so she actually gave me a call when she found out I was a client, and she found out about the show, and we got to talking, and some of the people from the show are now signed with the agency because of that. So that's really cool. That's really special. And so this woman has also been, her name is Pat Brady, a wonderful woman who has become our agent and sort of sensei in all things Harry Potter fandom and the fan community, where she organized for us to go to various conferences and stuff and fan gatherings. And so yeah, actually next week we're going off to Orlando to go to the Harry Potter theme park, which is really cool. So it's changed in that respect. I mean, I never thought that I would be. I've always loved Broadway, but I never dreamed of like being on Broadway. It's never my thing. I mean, I just didn't think it was something I could do really. So now it's cool that composing music for Broadway is a viable and real road that I'm sort of on. And in fact, I'm here in New York. I was just making a lot of meetings with different people, and a lot of I won't get too much into it. I'll spare you. But the point is, a lot of ideas and things that I would love to have happen aren't necessarily so ridiculous anymore. We've had a lot of positive support from a lot of big players that we actually know and enjoy the work of. So it's been cool to be contacted by these people. So I don't know. It's everything's in a very fetal stage right now, but it's exciting, and things are cooking. I'd say in a year or two, the StarKid name and company will be a little more concrete as a company, and have a lot of things going on a more, not necessarily mainstream level, but more legitimate, I should say. So.
What made you come up with the idea for a Harry Potter musical? Like, how did you guys get to that point?
We were always doing really. I mean, I think. I mean, before our show. I mean, I feel so bad for this girl. If she's listening, bless you. Like, people do stuff like that all the time. Like, this is not a novel I mean, it's a novel concept in a mainstream context, but like, college kids do this stuff all the time. Like, God knows how many Harry Potter or any kind of pop culture things are made a musical or a play or a skit or something. People do these things all the time. And there was a YouTube video where a girl in her high school, I believe, or college did, a Potter musical where it used, Disney music, and they just changed the words, and it's all in good fun. It's like it never meant for anything but your friends and just silliness. And I feel so bad because people have like, I went back to that video after our thing happened, and I'm looking at it, and like people are saying these really mean things about her video. I'm like, this isn't a Harry Potter musical. And I'm like, dude, chill out. Like, this is just like a fun thing that people do. Like, they're not exclusive of each other. They're just. So that's a long-winded way of saying. I guess the idea had always been there. We've always done shows and productions of things that we like because we're nerds. I mean, there was a Hobbit play that the Lang brothers put on about 3 years before we did this show. They did The Hobbit 2, The Lord of the Rings, which was kind of a silly play. They did a staged version of a Goofy movie, which is one of our favorite movies. So just a lot of like silly things like that we just do all the time because we like musicals and we like nerd things. And I don't know, we just so Matt Lang, who sort of helmed the show to happen, always wanted to make it happen. And so somewhat earlier in the year, the beginning of the school year, my senior year of college, he just put up a poster, because he's a designer, so he designed like a big poster that just said Harry Potter the Musical, which is now called the Harry Potter Musical for just legal protective reasons. And he just put Harry Potter the Musical, 2009, I think? 2009. And so then the whole year we're like, oh, well, we better put this thing on. And so Brian Holden and the Lang brothers wrote this thing, for a couple weeks, if not months, preceding the show. And then we rehearsed for 2 weeks, and most of it, with actors and everything, was put up relatively quickly. Because it's just, college kids having fun doing theater. Nothing was ever meant to be what it is. So it's sort of ragtag,
Would you have ever thought that it was going to get to the point that it is? Like, you guys have like hundreds of thousands of fans. Like, it's wild.
No way have we. It never gets I'm never getting used to it. It's unbelievable, the power of the internet and the reach that everybody, I mean, no one is exempt from this, that everybody can have. I mean, I wish I could say that we were smart enough to be like, how are we gonna like advance our careers as creative people? I know, we'll make a musical and put it on YouTube. Like, no. It happened, and it was a lot of fun, and then months went by, and then I remember saying, like, hey, it'd be really fun to, we should put this on YouTube because a lot of people missed it. And it was this thing that, it was like, you know, the high school graduated senior reminiscing about the football games, you know, that was like the big game for us. That was something, and it was very special because a lot of the main characters and stuff, like, we're all just, we're good friends, you know? And so eventually, it doesn't matter who initiated it, but we were like, we just put it on YouTube because this is really funny. We want our friends and family to see this. And very quickly, things happened, and it was very, very, very overwhelming, especially when you think of the legal ramifications of everything, which is in and of itself a whole conversation that we don't necessarily need to get into. But so no, man, never expected anything ever. It's been wild.
Well, you're so talented in all these different things. You're singing, you're writing the songs, you're writing plays, you're going off and writing music and playing the music and everything. Is there anything that you want to focus on for the future?
I mean, at this point, I've been so very lucky to be given the opportunities that I have been. I don't think I have the clout at this point in my life to really say, I want to do this. You know, if you're Leonardo DiCaprio, you can say, I'm going to do this, and that's what I'm going to do because I'm Leonardo DiCaprio. In this industry, I'm honestly at this point taking whatever I can get. It has been good for me, and I've been quite fortunate, but by no means has it been easy. So I'm still kind of in a very entry-level version of my acting career, and I like to think that I'm at this point a sophomore in this Hollywood high school. You know. I know a few more people. I'm not as unsure of myself. I've met some cool seniors. You know, I've joined some really cool clubs, and so I'm getting to know it a little better. And when I say Hollywood, as a term, I mean, you know, music, acting, all that stuff, entertainment in general. Yeah. So I'm really excited to be focusing more on potentially writing, develop a show that I'm currently developing, and hopefully moving it to New York within the next 2 years. That's a personal project. I'd love to be, you know, going into the studio to make a studio album for myself and play with, you know, like my band. That'd be really great. But at the same time, between all of this, you know, I'm auditioning all the time for, you know, film and television and theatrical, and by theater I mean theater stuff. So anything that I can get would be a total blessing, and I really can't complain if someone was to offer me a job in any of those things. So
The most humble Renaissance man.
Oh well, thank you. I know it's. I mean, it's easy. It's not hard to get it's very difficult for me to get an inflated head, simply because you can be right. It's true what they say. I mean, in entertainment, things come in waves. Like, you know, you're riding high one day. I booked this show on ABC. That was the most exciting, unbelievable thing in the world. Oh my God, I'm on TV. No way, TV. No, man, that's not me. That's crazy. And you know, it left as soon as it came. The show got canceled, and I'm right back at square one. And by no means do I have, you know, any easy, slide to the next thing. I'm right back to the drawing board, you know, and I'm still out there working hard, and, you know, just, you know, doing as much as I can to pay my rent on time. You know, I'm in a very, I'm still very much a greenhorn, you know. So get back to me in a couple years. Hopefully I'll have a better answer. You know.
Man.
Well, not to harp on the Potter stuff, but you guys announced the Harry Potter sequel, and obviously that's premiering in Infinitus, and then it'll be on YouTube finally. Was it easier to write that one, or was it harder to write that one?
Well, this time, the guy who I wrote the music with last time, AJ Holmes, fantastic composer. And he has a writing partner, Carlos Valdez, who he wrote the music, the vast majority of the music for another show we did called Me and My Dick. They're incredibly talented, creative guys, and so they wanted to kind of focus on their own show that they're writing. So they, and they were also very busy this summer, so they couldn't, unfortunately, they couldn't work with us on this last show. So it was tough for me because I had to write an entire score and like 12 or so new songs, and but it was very exciting because I'd never done that before, never tackled something, and now that I passed that milestone, it gets me really excited about doing this more in the future because now I'm not so scared of it. But it was almost easier because doing the show last time was impossible because I was trying to graduate. I had finals, I had papers due, I didn't know any of my lines. I mean, it was awful. It's like you're going to school. So this time unemployed actor, I have a lot of, I'm making quote fingers time. I mean, I'm busy auditioning and so forth, but I don't need to have a paper due the next day, so I could focus in on it a little more, and so in that respect, it was a bit easier, and we definitely had a whole lot of time. Last time most of the songs were all written within 2 weeks. This time it was written within like 2-3 months. So I'm excited. It's a really great show. I'm very proud of the work that we've done, and I really hope everybody likes it. It's something that I'm really looking forward to.
So you have all these plays coming out, but you're also writing music, and you're releasing a EP very soon. And are you going to be playing any songs on tonight from the EP?
Yeah, I mean, there are a bunch of old songs, and some are from some of the things we're talking about. Some of the songs we'll be playing are from, some of the songs from the EP are songs that are associated with, see, I'm dripping, it's so hot, from StarKid properties, I guess. Sammy is a song from Little White Lie that we recycled into the first Potter show, where we just changed it to Harry. And I rewrote some of the lyrics so it would make sense with the character. And then there's a song called Not Alone that I didn't write for. A lot of the songs that were in Harry Potter, not a lot, a few of them were not written for the show. They were just my songs that they just used. Not Alone was just a song I wrote like a year or two before Harry Potter, and they've always loved that song. My friends have always loved that song, and they used, according to them, I quote them, and this is very touching to me, that whole song they used as sort of the backbone, like the thematic backbone for writing this show. So it gets associated with Harry Potter, which is very cool, but to me it's just this love song that I wrote a while ago. So that's on the EP as well, and so I'll be playing some of those songs and playing some other tunes. I just found out I don't have a piano, which I'm kind of upset about, so I have to change my set a little bit today. But yeah.
It's available, right?
Oh yeah, the EP should be available here at the show, but we'll be putting it up on iTunes within the next couple of weeks for sure. Yeah, it should be available for download.
Any fan questions, or you have more stuff?
Yeah, this isn't even fan questions. I know it's kind of weird to say that I've never heard of you before last week, and after finding all this stuff that's all about you, everything that you've accomplished and whatnot, it's insane. But I mean, regardless of what I think, have you ever really looked into what your fans said? Because I mean, there's comments, and I mean,
a lot of marriage proposals online.
Yeah, marriage proposals. Kids covering your songs, covering the play. Geez, I mean, I saw a fan dub of Harry Potter. I saw fan dubs of animes and cartoons, and just kids just putting their creativity with you're basically making them do it. You're influencing them to go and do that. What have you noticed? What are some of the crazier comments that you've seen?
Well, what you said just there, I mean, that's like probably the most beautiful thing about any of this, far beyond anything that has happened for us. I mean, it's incredibly and immediately gratifying and very touching to know that this has somehow affected other people, especially when it was just kind of a joke, And the fact, not to say that it's not serious, but it was just us having fun. The thing that blows my mind is that what this show essentially, or the Potter show, is essentially to me is a really fun party, like your friend's birthday party, and it was like the party of the year, and we just we filmed it, and you see all your friends and everyone's laughing. Imagine putting that on YouTube and everybody like doing scenes from that party, and like quoting that party. That's essentially what it is. So it's very, very cool that people hearing my songs being played is, that's so, God, I've used every adjective. It's so gratifying. It's very humbling that somebody would be so supportive and really be moved to take the time to do that kind of thing. So if I've myself or any of my friends involved in the company have spurred on some creative seeds and these people I've never met, then like, wow, because that's how it works for me. I mean, I was talking earlier about Disney movies, you know, and Star Wars and things that meant the world to me, that, you know, I didn't have YouTube, you know, when we were kids, but I probably would have been doing something very similar to express my adoration of these things. So it's very, very flattering and really awesome, and a lot of fans think that we don't see them, but we see them all.
Oh,
We see them all, because they get crossed, like, I don't know what the term is, but they get, you know, they're underneath the videos when you see our videos, and most people will send them to me. So I've seen some really great things where I've been very moved, actually, by a lot of them. So yeah.
I actually have some comments written down over here on the StarKid, the Team StarKid fan page. A Shelby Egan at 12:01 on a certain date wrote, "I love you," and then not even a minute later, she wrote, "I love you so much."
Wow.
Yeah, you got some pretty crazy fans out there. It's
Wow. I guess she wasn't satisfied with the first one.
Right? And if that one surprises you, check out this one. Also on the same page, written from a Dulce CR. I don't know how to pronounce that, but she says, "Hey, I'm from Spain, and I see you in a very Potter musical, and well, I think it's you." Smiley face. "I just want to meet actors from other countries. I'm trying to be an actress. And I want to tell you that you're good, really good." Smiley face. See you.
Oh, cool. I'm glad you put the smiley face, because that kind of
makes it less creepy, right?
Yeah. Well, no, people always say it. People are like, "Is it creepy that I'm like messaging you?" It's like, no, man. We live in a world where we subscribe ourselves to these public, you know, access things, you know, like Facebook, like, you know, "Hey, sorry to be a creeper or a stalker." It's like, no, man. Like, I'm the creepy one. I play a fake Harry Potter in a musical that we spent time to make. That's weird, man. We have a musical called Me and My Dick. That's weird.
Well,
you messaging me is not weird at all.
What's not weird about Me and My Dick is that actually made number 15 on the sales for Billboard.
Did you see that?
Yeah, actually, that is weird. That is weird.
Does that creep you out a little bit? How'd you feel about that?
It doesn't creep me out. I mean, it was amazing when we found out because well, it's. I'm not sure. Well, I mean, jeez, I don't care if it was.
Stand in the Rock of Ages. I was like, wow.
Yeah, I think what happened there. I mean, we didn't get a chance to sell our soundtrack for obvious reasons for the first show. So I feel like maybe this was a residual thing for fans. I'd also like to hope that people really just wanted to get it.
I think that now that you've got a fan base, I think they're kind of like we're at whatever you're doing, we're supporting you kind of thing.
Oh, well,
I think that's pretty much where that went.
As much as we appreciate that, I hope they can also know what's good and what's bad, and you know, they don't. If it's bad, then you don't have to support us.
Kind of the
But
catch-22
I didn't say that. I didn't say that. Please support us. We need your help. We have nothing. Yeah, that was crazy. It's because they told us it was the first time any album, not even non-Broadway, non-professional recording had ever made the charts, ever. Not even on any of the Billboard charts, pop, rock, R&B, indie, anything. The first time a student-produced, thing was on the charts. So that was absolute insanity. Very wild. I never thought I would say I'd be a Billboard, chart writer for a musical called Me and My Dick. That's it's very, very bizarre. Yeah, it's crazy.
Do you want to do a couple of these?
Yeah, definitely. We went onto Facebook and to other social networking sites, and we wanted to reach out to those fans who really, want to ask you questions, and since they can't necessarily get in touch with you right off of Facebook or whatever, that we'd ask the questions for them.
Yeah, please.
So here we go. Kat Atchison, she asks, do you know if J.K. Rowling or if any of the other cast members from the Harry Potter films have ever seen the musical or contacted you?
Oh, I have no idea. I mean, those cats are busy, I doubt. I mean, I'm sure, who knows, maybe someone has, forwarded something their way. Somebody did send us a video of Tom Felton, who plays Draco, being at some kind of convention or something where someone asked him, what do you think of a Potter musical? And based off the way he reacted, I think he was a very sweet kid. I feel like he was being, not necessarily pandering, but sort of kind of going along. Yeah, I've seen a lot of stuff, and he's quite kind of unsure if he had. And it became quite clear that he hadn't, because the girl asked, was it, oh, what do you think about her performance? and she rolls around the floor a lot. And he's like, wait, her? So if you didn't notice that immediately, he hadn't seen it. So that's the closest I've known of anybody.
She's hysterical now.
The closest celebrity thing I think we have that has anything to do with the show is that Brian Holden, the writer of one of the writers of the show, he does a lot of improv out in Los Angeles, and we were at a show, and one of the guys he was up on stage with is a good friend of Zac Efron. So Zac Efron was in the audience, and it was crazy because afterwards, because we love Zac Efron, and he went up to Zac and he was like, totally starstruck, just like, hey man, there's no cool way to say this, and Brian, I don't know exactly what you said, so I'm sorry if I bastardized this man, but he was essentially saying, trying to explain, which is very hard to explain, like, you were a Horcrux in a play I wrote, like, which is weird on like 9 levels, so I don't know if that's exactly what he said, but I think that's the closest celebrity connection we can make, but I don't know, I haven't heard anything, no.
That is totally awesome. That is totally awesome. You want to get the next question?
Lindsay Carpenter asks, sure. Do you really know? Okay.
Lindsay's our biggest fan, hands down.
Okay.
Lindsay Carpenter, if you hear this, you are undoubtedly, undisputedly our biggest fan of StarKid. Yeah.
She asked what you like about your fans that you have and what your relationship status is.
Well, I keep most of those things private, so that means whatever. And what was the other one?
What you like about the fans that you have, unless you keep that part private and you want to talk about it.
No, it's fine. I mean, Lindsay. Oh, Lindsay. We love you. I don't know. The thing I like about the fans is we have fans. I mean, that to me is... having a fan is amazing. I can't believe that we have fans, and that's a question that you could ask. The best thing about fans is that we have this undying support from such generous people. Like, that is such an unbelievable blessing to me. That is in and of itself is the best thing about fans, is that they're fans. Yeah.
Jess Simpson asks, how are you coping now with all of your new fangirls since the Harry Potter musical became popular?
I don't really know how to answer that. It's not really a cope thing. I don't really have...
Have you had a crazy experience with fangirls?
No. I mean, it's very bizarre to be, because we're not celebrities by any means. We exist on the... It's we live this double life. You're not going to go up to a person on the street and be like, has the internet told you about me? Because we exist as this kind of thing on the internet, but it's not real on a day-to-day basis. So, it's not real. It's not as tangible. It's
in your face all the
it's
time.
not in my face all the time. So it's just only on the internet. But not really. I mean, yesterday I played a show. It was probably the most people I'd ever played for. We did an all-ages show, sort of Saturday afternoon in Soho, and it was an unbelievable response. And it was, I don't know. I don't think of it as fangirls or being crazy. It's nothing that I wouldn't have done for something that I really liked. So I don't want to diss the things that I enjoyed when I was little by saying that I don't think they're crazy. No one's done anything insane. And people are always apologizing. Is it okay if I, get an autograph or a picture? And to me, that's wow. I wouldn't want a picture or an autograph from me. The fact that you think this, I'd be happy to. So it hasn't been anything crazy. No one's tried to stab me. That's cool. As long as that is consistent, I'll be happy. Exactly. Let's hope that never happens. So don't try that ever, please. I enjoy not being stabbed. Yeah, that's a cool thing, not to be stabbed. I like that.
Awesome.
I can see that being a T-shirt next weekend. You'll have to let us know if it is. Some fan.
You let me know if it is. I want that T-shirt.
We'll be making it.
Please don't stab me.
Don't stab Darren.
Yeah, don't stab Darren. Which is nice because every Darren in the world will appreciate that warning.
A lot of them just want to know, if you're going to tour, if you're going to be in other places, if you're coming back here.
I would love to. I'm not... I'm an unemployed actor, man. I really don't have a whole lot going. I'm just barely getting by, and I'm getting there slowly but surely. Hopefully, I can make a little bit of, income off whatever, when we put the EP up. But it's very tough because in Los Angeles, I'm always auditioning, which is great. I'm very lucky to be saying that, and I recognize that as an actor. So that takes up a lot of my time. I wish I could tour. People are always like, come to this city, come to this city. I'm like, yeah, man, I would love to. I wish I could, but at this point in my career, it's not very feasible. Hopefully soon, soon and very soon. That'd be nice, because I would love to tour. I'd love to go around. I love doing it. So.
Well, we're very excited to be checking out your show tonight. Looking forward to your set, and thank you so much for talking with us, Mr. Darren Criss.
Yes, thank you guys. Thank you.
We were just talking with Darren Criss. If you want to check out Darren Criss, go to darrencriss.com, DarrenCriss.com. On Twitter, it's @DarrenCriss, youtube.com/StarKidPotter, or if you want Darren's personal YouTube channel, it's /ICLEMYER. And check out Facebook for StarKid Potter and for Darren Criss. You've been tuned in with Eitan Vishnevsky and
Stephanie Walsh.
And that's